Ethan's life was filled with love and laughter. His mother, Maria, was the heart of their home, while his father, James, worked hard to provide for them. Behind the smiles, Maria was hiding her pain. She had been struggling with a sudden, unexplained fatigue and persistent coughs. At first, she dismissed it as just a common cold, believing it would pass with time. But the symptoms grew worse. Doctors eventually diagnosed her with a rare and aggressive form of cancer. Maria fought bravely, enduring painful treatments while hiding her struggle from Ethan. She didn't want her son to see her weak. "Ethan, promise me you'll be strong. Always remember that I love you," says Maria while lying on hospital bed. Maria's illness took her from them, leaving Ethan and James shattered. Months passed, and their home, once filled with laughter, became a place of silence. Ethan and James found themselves grappling with the void she left behind. James tried his best to be strong for his son, juggling work and parenting, but the weight of his grief was hard to hide. Ethan, too young to fully understand his loss, spent hours staring at family photos, longing for his mother's hugs and soothing voice. Ethan didn't understand why his mom had to leave. He only knew the emptiness that followed. The pain was overwhelming, and as time passed, James began to realize that both he and Ethan needed a change, a chance to heal and rebuild what they had lost. It was in this lonely place that James decided to open his heart again, believing that maybe, just maybe, someone else could bring light back into their home. James, wanting to bring light back into their lives, made a decision that would change everything. He married a woman named Linda. He took this step for his son. He knew that Ethan needs someone that could love him like his mother. Linda seemed like a breath of fresh air, confident, warm, and full of energy. She brought hope into James's life, but Ethan wasn't so sure. While James saw a second chance at happiness, Ethan couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. Next day, when James went to office, Linda called Ethan and said, "This isn't your mother's house anymore. If you want to live in this house, you will have to work." Ethan looks down, too shocked to reply. Over time, her words and actions become harsher. One day, Ethan spilled a glass of water on the floor. Linda slammed her hand on the table, making him flinch. "Are you kidding me? Clean this up now. You're as useless as your father," says Linda. Ethan quickly grabs a rag and started cleaning the floor. Linda's kindness was only for show when James was around. Behind closed doors, she treated Ethan like a burden. One day, James was laughing with Linda on a dinner table. Ethan tried to speak up but froze as Linda gave him a sharp look. Ethan wanted to tell his father, but feared Linda's threats. Her words stung like poison. As days turned into weeks, her abuse grew worse. She found fault in everything Ethan did. If his room wasn't perfectly tidy, she would tear the sheets off his bed and make him redo it. If he forgot to put away his shoes, she would throw them outside and force him to fetch them in the rain. One day, Ethan was cleaning the floor. Eventually, he dropped an expensive vase. "Look what you've done." "Do you know how much that cost?" said Linda. "Clean this up before your father gets home, or you'll be sorry." She stormed out of the room, leaving Ethan on the floor, picking up the broken pieces with shaking hands. Linda's abuse wasn't always physical. Sometimes her words cut even deeper. She constantly compared Ethan to his mother, mocking his grief and making him feel like a burden. No matter how much she hurt him, Ethan couldn't bring himself to tell his father. How will Ethan find the courage to tell his father about Linda's cruelty? How could he speak up without risking his father's happiness? Stay tuned for next episode to see what will happen. Make sure to subscribe the channel and comment below what will happen in next episode. Will Linda be punished for her deeds, or she will continue her abuse?